We also have some sad news to report tonight. Hall of Fame quarterback Sonny Jurgensen, who played for the Burgundy and Gold in the 1960s and 70s, passed away today at the age of 91.
For a decade, number 9 thrilled fans on the field. He took part in some of the franchise's biggest moments. After his playing days, Jurgensen didn't go far. He quickly became one of the most recognizable voices to cover the team. He was part of our team here at NBC Washington with George Michael.
Absolutely. News 4's Paul Wagner takes a look back at his career.
Sonny Jurgensen was a legend in this town, not just for what he did on the field, but for what he did after his playing career was over. He was a Redskin through and through, and you could say he bled Burgundy and Gold. The 4-time All-Pro played for Washington for 11 seasons. In 1974, when quarterback Joe Theismann made the team, he was astonished with Jurgensen's precision passing and wanted to know how he did it.
One day I said, "How do you throw it so well?" He said, "Well, basically what I do is I put my hands on the laces, I take my arm back and let it go." And that was the Dalai Lama of pass. I mean, I'd watch him throw the ball behind his back, perfect spirals.
Sonny finished his playing career in D.C. in 1974 and was later inducted into the Hall of Fame.
A lot of people go back in history to when George Allen arrived. Well, I disagree with that. It was when Sonny arrived. The Redskins were awful in those days. I remember as a kid watching the Giants beat us 49-0 with Y.A. Tittle, and we got, so they make this trade, Norm Snead for Sonny, and Sonny comes in, and every game is must-see TV.
Ernie Bauer was a producer and director who got to know Sonny well when they worked on the show Redskins Sidelines, and the two became longtime friends.
I think they're making big plays. They had interceptions, they're getting turnovers.
For many fans of the team, he will be remembered for his analysis in the broadcast booth. Who can forget Sonny, Sam, and Frank? Fans would turn down the sound on the television just to hear what Sonny had to say on the radio. Frank Herzog had the play-by-play.
Immediately, he added something to the broadcast, something special. And all of a sudden, it opened the doors for me. I could let's do it, and I get those two going, and we had a ball.
Joe Theismann says Sonny was a master at analysis.
Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something that happened that normally someone who's just a fan wouldn't know. And that's what Sonny had the ability to do.
Josh Harris, now the owner of the franchise, said in a statement in part, "For me, Sonny was the embodiment of what it means to don the burgundy and gold. Tough, smart, and endlessly devoted to this franchise and its fans. He was a giant of the game and a beloved part of our team's identity." Sonny also had a legacy at News 4, working with sports anchor George Michael. The two would interview Coach Joe Gibbs on Mondays after the game.
Coach, in week 4, you beat Seattle 20-17.
Sonny's family also released a statement which reads in part, "We are comforted by the knowledge that he brought joy to so many. This weekend, as we enjoy the game that he loves so much, join us and raise a glass, share a story and a smile, as we celebrate the extraordinary life of a man who was, to us, the greatest of all time." Paul Wagner, News 4.
And what an incredible person, too.
Oh, really?
Approachable, the
Legend.
friendliest guy walking through our doors, too. The passing of Sonny Jurgensen brings back a lot of memories for many people who lived in this area a long time and grew up here.
Yeah, that includes our team insider, JP Finley, who shares what Sonny meant on the field, in the radio booth, and right here at NBC4.
Obviously, the loss of Sonny Jurgensen carries so much weight for the entire DMV region and countless Burgundy and Gold fans across the globe. But I asked Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Washington Commanders, what it means to lose such an iconic figure in the organization.
DQ, a heavyweight of the organization, an absolute legend, and Sonny Jurgensen has passed away. And I'm just curious for you. I'm sure you got to know him a little bit over the years, and maybe even more that over your life in football, what it means to hear Sonny has passed.
Yeah, I think what an absolute remarkable football life. You know what I'm saying, JP? And then to have an extended portion of that with the team, on the broadcast side of things and the radio. And so just to know, when somebody does something at that level, that high, I think I read today where 5 times he was the passing leader in our league. You know how hard that is to do, man? So I think when you look back with gratitude and appreciation for the accomplishments, and so not only was he a great ball player, but sounded like, man, one hell of a guy.
Dan Quinn is a serious student of the game of football, not just now, but throughout its history. And you cannot tell the story of pro football without Sonny Jurgensen.
So well put.
Yep.